Have you ever wondered what lies beneath the clouds of a gas giant? I did once, back when they had no solid surface. But ever since the World's Part 2 update for No Man's Sky dropped in January of 2025, I have been continuously saying the phrase landing on a gas giant repeatedly. So today, we are heading to a purple star system in the Potterick Nebula to explore a gas giant and its 5 moons. So buckle up and get ready for a journey with Redacted 147 in the Potterick Nebula project. Chapter 1: Piesco Alch and its stats. Today, we will be visiting the system called Piesco Alch. It is a purple star with a Y6F stellar class, with one single gas giant that has 5 moons orbiting it. The sizes of the celestial bodies are gigantic for the gas giant and moon-sized for all 5 moons. Due to all the Korvax who lived in this system abandoning it, the system does not have a proper conflict level or an economy. Like all stars in the Potterick Nebula, Piesco Alch's age is 4.7 billion years. It has a system ID number of 1057 due to it being part of the Purple Branch. With the system's stats done, let's move on to the planet with its moons. Chapter 2: Ravikin. Section 2A: Ravikin's stats. The gas giant we are exploring today is called Ravikin. It is a gigantic gas giant with the gas giant biome. Its weather is described as eternal cyclones, meaning that it is in a constant storm-like state. It luckily has a low level of sentinel activity due to the intermittent descriptor. The flora and fauna have descriptors of limited and empty, meaning there is a low amount of flora and absolutely no fauna on its surface. The resources for this planet are as follows. The stellar metal is activated quartzite, the local earth element is crystallized helium, and the random mineral is salt. There are 11 flora types and 19 different minerals on the surface, totaling up to 30 scannable items on the surface of Ravikin. The age of Ravikin is 4.06 billion years, making it the oldest celestial body discovered so far in the series. It has an atmosphere consisting of 63% carbon monoxide, 20% radon, and 17% of other trace gases. Ravikin's core is mostly made of plutonium and has geology described as polygonal. One note about it says that its biological life was regrown after a natural disaster, which is interesting because it is a gas giant. With the stats being revealed, let's go into the scoring of this planet. Section 2B: Ravikin's colour scheme. From space, the giant is covered in thick purple clouds that resemble those similar to Jupiter's from real life. The clouds also block any clear view of the planet's surface from space. There appears to be small blue puddles of water around the planet's surface, and its view of space from the ground is blocked by bluish purple smoke. For this reason, I rate it 1.5 out of 5 stars for its colour scheme. Section 2C: Ravikin's ecosystem safety. The sentinels on this planet are rarely found since it has a low-level descriptor of them, combined with being a gas giant, meaning that they have no buildings to guard. As for fauna, there are none to speak of, which is why I'm giving this gas giant a 5 out of 5 star rating for its ecosystem safety. Let's press on and continue our journey into its habitat suitability. Section 2D: Ravikin's habitat suitability. This planet has the gas biome, meaning it is the worst kind for life. The temperature on the surface is always steaming, with the nighttime measuring in at 101 degrees Celsius, whilst the day reaches all the way up to 118 degrees Celsius. For this reason, I will give this planet 0.5 stars out of 5 for its habitat suitability. Section 2E: Ravikin's personal rating. I personally think this gas giant is not too interesting, but it being the first of its kind in the series makes it special. For this reason, I'm rating it 2 stars out of 5. Now, let's add up the total scores. Section 2F, Ravikin's total score, with the respective scores from all 4 categories being 1.5, 5, 0.5 and 2. This makes a total score of 9 stars out of 20, the worst of any planet in the series so far. Anyways, here is some new and improved exploration footage for this planet. Now, let's start charting Ravikin's moons. Chapter 3, Ampto II. Section 3A, Ampto II Stats. Ampto II is the first moon from Ravikin and is a crimson moon with a red super exotic biome. The weather has the descriptor of angered clouds, whilst the sentinels are described as dissonant, which means they are corrupted. Just to note down, the weather descriptor for any colour of super exotic planet or moon can be clear, regular or extreme without any unique names to distinguish, meaning you'll have to manually see. Personally, I found that this moon is clear. The flora spawn rate is high with the descriptor of full, whilst the fauna spawn rate is also high, but with the descriptor of abundant. The following resources on this moon are as follows. Quartzite is the stellar metal, phosphorus is the local earth element, whilst sodium is the random mineral. The number of scannable items on the surface are as follows. 6 animal species, as well as 22 flora types and 19 mineral types, totaling 47 scannable items. Ampto II's planetary age is 840 million years, with its atmosphere being composed of 62% dihydrogen, 21% sulfurine, and 17% trace gases. Its main core element is anomalous, and its geology is foliated. Something interesting about this moon is that it has bioengineered soil microbes. With that out of the way, let's start to rate this moon. Section 3B, Ampto II's colour scheme. From space, Ampto II appears to have blue surface water in random patches, whilst having a greyish-brown ground colour. This upholds on the surface when you land, but the ponds of blue water retreat to underground caves. The atmosphere is full of purple smoke due to its dissonance, which is why I'm giving it a 2 out of 5 in stars. Time to assess Ampto II's ecosystem safety. Section 3C, Ampto II's ecosystem safety. The sentinels are dissonant on this planet, meaning that they are corrupted and behave like high, not extreme, sentinel planets, which leaves me feeling on edge. There is at least one predatory fauna found on this moon, but it never seemed to come after me. For this reason, I rate the economy safety of Ampto II's 3 stars out of 5. Section 3D, Ampto II's habitat suitability. Ampto II's planetary biome is super exotic red, which means it is sort of a glitchy version of a hot planet, which isn't very suitable for life itself. The moon seems to have no storms, so that's good, I guess. The daytime tops out at 22 degrees Celsius, whilst the night dips all the way down to minus 14 degrees Celsius. These are the reasons I will give Ampto II's 3 out of 5 stars on this category. And now it's time for my personal rating. Section 3E, Ampto II's personal rating. I personally find this moon mediocre because of its strangeness, meaning that I give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Section 3F, Ampto II's total score. Combining all categories scores of 2, 3, 3 and 3.5, Ampto II gets an 11.5 out of 20 stars. Here is some exploration footage of this moon. On to the next moon. Chapter 4, Icarus the 18th. Section 4A, Icarus the 18th's stats. The second moon from Ravikin is Icarus the 18th, which is a sub-zero moon with the frozen biome. This moon's weather is freezing, indicating no storms ever occur on it, but the Sentinels like patrolling this moon due to them being attentive on here. The flora and fauna on Icarus the 18th are bountiful and rich, respectively, meaning that they both occur in high amounts across the surface. For the resources on this moon, quartzite is the stellar metal, frost crystal is the biome-themed plant, dioxite being the local earth element, and cobalt being the random mineral. The number of scannable organisms and minerals are as follows: 11 different fauna types, 8 flora types, and 10 different minerals, totaling 29 items to scan. Icarus the 18th's age is 3.29 billion years, having an atmosphere made of 69% fluorine, 29% radon, and 2% of trace gases. Its core is mostly made from aluminium, with the geology of computative. A fact about this planet's atmosphere is that it is supposedly thin. Section 4B, Icarus the 18th's color scheme. From space, this moon appears to be a frozen blue orb, whilst on the surface it appears to be made of frozen rocks and plates of ice. The atmosphere is blue, like Earth's, so I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5-star rating. Section 4C, Icarus the 18th's ecosystem safety. The Sentinels like to patrol this moon for some reason. At least they are not too hostile to any would-be visiting travellers. There is, however, one predatory dinosaur-like animal on this moon, meaning that this moon gets an ecosystem safety score of 3 out of 5 stars. Now time to score Icarus the 18th on its habitat suitability. Section 4D, Icarus the 18th's habitat suitability. Icarus the 18th's biome is frozen, which for some people could be survivable due to the lack of storms. The temperatures on this moon dip as low as -57 degrees Celsius at night, rising to only -53 degrees Celsius during the day. For this reason, I rate the habitat suitability 4 out of 5 stars. Now for my personal rating. Section 4E, Icarus the 18th's personal rating. I like this moon due to it having a frozen biome, but since it does have a predator on it that seems quite rare, I give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Now, let's count the total. Section 4F, Icarus the 18th's total score. With scores of 3.5, 3, 4, and 3.5, Icarus the 18th's total score is 14 out of 20 stars. Here is some footage for your entertainment. Onto the middle moon we go. Chapter 5, Yona TCB-23. Section 5A, Yona TCB-23's stats. Yona TCB-23 is the third and middle moon from Ravikin and has the property of stellar corruption detected, having a blue super exotic biome. The weather for this moon is electric rain, with the Sentinels being enforcing, meaning there are high levels of them on the surface. The flora is generous and the fauna is ample, meaning that they are both high in quantity. The resources on this moon are as follows. Quartzite is the stellar metal, dioxite is the local earth element, and the random mineral is silver. The number of scannable items on this moon are as follows. There are 10 fauna species to scan, as well as 21 different types of flora and minerals each, totaling 52 scannable items. Yona TCB-23's age is 2.95 billion years and has an atmosphere made up of 51% Hygleys, 23% radon, and 26% of trace gases. Its core is mostly composed of What? And has a geology of computative, just like the previous moon. Something to know about this moon is that it has mutagens in its soil. Let's start the rating process. Section 5B, Iona TCB-23's color scheme. From space, Iona TCB-23 looks like a grey-brown rocky world with red oceans and lakes, and on the surface, it has a noir aesthetic to it, which disappears when you use the analysis visor. Through the analysis visor, the atmosphere appears to be yellow in colour, which is why I give this moon a 2 out of 5 in stars. Let's shuffle along for the ecosystem safety. Section 5C, Iona TCB-23's ecosystem safety. Due to the frequent patrols that happen on this planet from the Sentinels, and due to the couple of predators on this planet, I will score it a 2 out of 5 in stars. Section 5D, Iona TCB-23's habitat suitability. Iona TCB-23 is a super exotic blue planet, meaning like the red one from earlier, it could be very glitchy to live on. The midday temperature reaches 30 degrees Celsius, with the nights only dropping to 18 degrees Celsius. For this reason, I rate the habitat suitability of Iona TCB-23 3 out of 5 stars. Now, time for my personal rating. Section 5E, Iona TCB-23's personal rating. I personally feel as if this moon is some sort of fever dream, and I like it, so I'll give it a personal rating of 5 stars out of 5. Now to check out the total score for Iona TCB-23. Section 5F, Iona TCB-23's total score. With scores of 2, 2, 3, and 5, this moon scores 12 out of 20 stars. Here is half a minute of footage on this moon. Now, time for the penultimate moon. Chapter 6, Null Dingle. Section 6A, Null Dingle stats. Null Dingle is the fourth and penultimate moon from Ravikin, being a barren moon with the desert biome. The weather descriptor for this moon is baked, meaning no storms occur on this moon. However, the Sentinels are inescapable, meaning they are very aggressive here. Both the flora and fauna on this moon have the descriptor of copious, meaning that there are high amounts of both of them upon the surface of Null Dingle. The resources available on this moon are as follows: quartzite as the stellar metal, cactus flesh as the biome-themed plant, pyrite as the local earth element, and silver as the random mineral. The following contains the number of scannable items on this moon: 6 creatures, 10 flora types, and 13 different minerals, totaling 29 scannable items. The age of Null Dingle is 530 million years, with an atmosphere made up of 56% dihydrogen, 21% sulfurine, and 23% trace gases. Its core is mainly composed of condensed carbon with metamorphic geology. Rumours have it that Null Dingle has a crimson core. Time for the scoring segment. Section 6B, Null Dingle's colour scheme. Null Dingle appears to be a blonde-coloured desert moon from space, and it also appears that way whilst on its surface. Due to this, I rate its colour scheme a dull, boring 1.5 stars out of 5. Moving on, Section 6C, Null Dingle's ecosystem safety. Shortly after I landed on Null Dingle, I was greeted with a sentinel attempting to scan me. This wouldn't have been a problem if the sentinels were not so aggressive on this moon. Luckily, all the animal species here are friendly, so I'm giving Null Dingle a 3 out of 5 stars for ecosystem safety. Section 6D, Null Dingle's habitat suitability. Null Dingle's temperature stays at a constant 10 degrees Celsius, with it not changing at all between night and day. Its biome is the desert one, which isn't a good one for supporting life, and due to its lack of water, this planet is getting a habitat suitability score of 3 out of 5 stars. Section 6E, Null Dingle's personal rating. I personally hate extreme sentinel planets and moons, and with not much to offer out to the table, I am rating Null Dingle a 2 out of 5 stars. Section 6F, Null Dingle's total score. With scores of 1.5, 3, 3 and 2, this totals it up to 9.5 out of 20 stars, having the same score as Ranslow from the previous episode. Interesting. Anyways, here is 30 seconds of exploration footage. Time to move on to the final moon of the system. Chapter 7, Ital the Seventh. Section 7A, Ital the Seventh's stats. The fifth and final moon from Ravikin is Ital the Seventh. It is a foggy moon with the marsh biome, with its weather being described as acid rain, meaning it has clear weather. The sentinels on this moon are unwavering, meaning that there is a high sentinel presence on this moon. The flora and fauna for this moon are high in frequency, with the respective descriptors of ample and high. The following resources found on this moon are the stellar metal of quartzite, the biome-themed plant of Fecium, with the random mineral being salt. The number of flora, fauna and minerals to scan are as follows. There is 9 total fauna, 20 total flora and 21 total minerals, equaling 50 items to scan on this moon. The age of Ital the Seventh is 3.34 billion years, with an atmosphere made up of 58% fluorine, 29% nitrogen, and 13% trace gases. Ital the Seventh's core is made of aluminium, with it having a mathematical geology. Ital the Seventh is also a rumoured hideout of divergent entities. For the final time this episode, let's get into scoring this moon. Section 7B, Ital the Seventh's colour scheme. From space, it looks like a purple-grey orb, but not only does it also have that ground colour, but it also has glow-in-the-dark mushrooms on its surface. The atmosphere also appears pink at dawn, which is why I'm giving it a 2.5 out of 5 stars for its colour scheme. Now, time to rate Ital the Seventh's ecosystem safety. Section 7C, Ital the Seventh's ecosystem safety. This moon is frequently patrolled by the Sentinels, whilst there is no fauna that will attack you on the surface. However, since the vile brood is present here, I will bump its score for ecosystem safety down to 3.5 out of 5 stars. Section 7D, Ital the Seventh's habitat suitability. The temperature doesn't matter here on this specific marsh moon, because it isn't the main hazard. The main hazard is toxicity, which the moon reaches 63.6 units of. Due to it being semi-habitable and due to the toxic rain, I will have to give Ital the Seventh a 3.5 out of 5 in stars for habitat suitability. Time for the final rating of the video. Section 7E, Ital the Seventh's personal rating. I personally think this moon is quite neat, so I'll give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Now, time to calculate the total. Section 7F, Ital the Seventh's total score. With scores of 2.5, 3.5, 3.5 and 4, this gives Ital the Seventh a total score of 13.5 out of 20 stars. Here is your final exploration footage clip of the video. Now, time to figure out the system's leaderboard and choose the next system. Chapter 8, Piesco Ausch's system leaderboard and the next episode's system choice. Section 8A, System leaderboard. In 6th and last place is the main planet itself, Ravikin, with a score of 9. In 5th place is Nuldingle with a score of 9.5. 4th place is Ampto II scoring 11.5. 3rd place goes to Yona TCB 23 scoring 12. In 2nd we have Ital VII with a score of 13.5, which means our winner today is Acarus the 18 scoring a total of 14 stars out of 20. Time to choose the next system. Section 8B, choosing the system to explore in episode 3. Like the previous videos section, I will show you the same bunch of star systems. One thing to note is that since we just visited a purple star system, option 7 will be on cooldown this episode, but don't worry, it will be available next episode with a brand new option. Anyways, pause the video to read more about the systems, and here they are now. Now, time for an outro. Phew, we made it. I can tell this will be a long episode, so if you enjoyed it, consider leaving a like and subscribe to not miss notifications for new solar system reviews like this one. So that was Piesco Alch, or system 1057 of the Potterick Nebula. One more thing to bear in mind is if an option has lasted through 20 episodes without being selected, instead of it going stale, it will be forced as the next episode to free up the slot. Remember to comment if you want to show support, and don't be shy to choose an option for the next episode, as it's just a bit of potluck. With the episode now finished, I hope you are all doing well, and don't forget to take care. Goodbye!